I thought there was maybe an element of those two entering the marriage, like maybe most marriages, in a spirit of blind optimism, rather than thinking what will go wrong in the future and should we plan now for our prenuptial agreement on how we'll deal with those difficulties.
But I think the point is that if you make an agreement up front that you will tackle those questions, you don't know what they are going to be, because that was the whole point. You don't know what they're going to be, but how are you going to resolve them?
The one thing that really rang a bell with me was when Fizz said, "What, you want me to make a decision now?" You know,
she came across to me as a control freak for the sake of it, and constraints around her and reasons why she had to behave like that were not evident, and she just came across as that type of person for the sake of it, which, I have to say, for me was disappointing.
Okay, my point was simply that I thought it was an accurate reflection, and yeah, probably the reason why why I would be happy with the control freak portrayal was just in reality. So it was an accurate portrayal of what I think's happened. So
right at the end, the plasterer and the electrician, well, that was very insightful and one that really rings true for me in my role. You know, two different groups of people doing what they do well without really knowing how they actually affect one another. I thought that's something that happens all the time.
right.
they both knew exactly what you needed to do.
Right.
And then they got on and did it. But they didn't tell each other. And I think that's quite a good analogy to the way that we can work. And I think I will have seen examples of that in this contract.
It's a very valid point that's come out here, which is that it's also a big risk to the company if it's allowed to build up and to overwhelm people. There's lots of stresses and strains, which have been amply demonstrated, that come with having to deal with this sort of issue. I mean, the story could have ended differently.
Tell him he's a good plasterer. Yeah. Well, he should know that already.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe there's not been anybody that's actually told him.
Well, what will that do if I tell him he's a good plasterer?
It would help open communication to him, and he maybe would.
You're not going to get anywhere with him though.
So I've just got to try.
Yeah, if you're going to hold that against him all the time, you're not going to move forward.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just ring him up and say, Paddy, could you come along? I've got a cocktail party I'm holding, Penthouse and Barbican, my penthouse. Do you want to come along and just have a chat?
You have to have an insight into his needs as well, and they may not.
It's almost as though you're expecting him to fail. Just because you're kind of two different people, you know, you're kind of the craftsman, he's kind of the nuts and bolts of things. And I think you've both got to make both of our jobs easier. Let's discuss.
You're a very nice boy. Do you want to come along as well?
This kind of stuff, pal, does not happen on one briefing. What I need, and what I still need from you, to be honest, if this is going to work out, is more regular contact. You know, your email thingy, whatever you have, your Palm bloody pilot and stuff, that's no good to me. You know, I've got grime under these nails, pal. This is workmanship and crap. No, I need you here. I need you here. A job of this size, of this value, no, let me finish. A job of this size and this value, once a week, at least one meeting a week with you in person, not your bloody electronic persona. That's a posh word for a bloke like me, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll brief you to stop it. Yeah, if you think things are going wrong, you should stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, darling. Hi. Oh, you're all wet. What are you doing?
Oh, driving. Dreadful. Filthy journey.
I haven't seen you for ages.
I know.
The last 2 nights you've been away.
I know.
You know, I've just got a bit lonely.
I know. I'm really sorry.
And because for very many different pressures that have been upon us all, and I know, you know, life in the agency has been really tough, we've not been able to communicate quite as well as we should. So Norman, I'm afraid, has had to go off and do another job, which has conflicted with this one. I couldn't hang on to him, I'm afraid.
Never mind. It's not a problem.
The other thing is that your phone's been switched off a lot.
No.
And, you know, I have needed to talk to you as much as anything else about where we're going to go for this weekend.
I know. I'm really sorry.
And
It won't happen
could you
again.
switch it on again?
I had it on for the entire journey, but the signal was really dodgy.
All right.
It won't happen again.
I'm going to cry.
They were talking together better, but they weren't necessarily communicating as effectively as they might be.
Okay.
They weren't getting down to the real issues very quickly.
The diaries now then. I mean, who can we call? Can we call someone now?
No, I will call you, as I have explained. I don't think you're listening to me. I will phone you
This is
around...
part of the whole problem, Fizz, you know.
Quentin,
I mean,
please.
you've got to be absolutely on
Please.
top of this because your mind's, you know, split by
really.
the agency work. We've got to know that you...
Please.
It's all very well saying please, but, you know,
I'm really sorry.
just do it.
I can't be in two places at once. No, really, I can't.
Mr.
Well, that's not like
Look,
you,
I've got
Fizz.
an agency to run. I'm really sorry.
Water, that's what you're
Look,
doing.
Mr. and Mrs. Harrison!
Good day.
Would you rather I left the room?
Would you mind?
No, but I have many things to do, and frankly, this
I know,
domestic
I'm
stuff's all very
really-
colourful,
I'm really
but
sorry to-
I really am a very busy man. I will phone you tomorrow lunchtime.
I'm
Now, for
sorry.
goodness sake.
I'm sorry, yes,
Put
goodbye.
yourself
I've
together.
taken a bottle of Chardonnay. Excuse me.